What's up, guys? Welcome to Portugal. We have a game between German and China on this very high trade post map that also features some water along the top and left or west side. Yes, I know my directions a little bit. This is a little bit different than our typical game that you might see on the channel. This is a little bit lower ELO, but I think sometimes it helps to see different levels of gameplay, and people maybe can relate more to this if you are around this range. I believe it's around the 1200 ELO range. So we're gonna take a look at and see how these guys fare at this range of skill. So balance can potentially change based on how you play civs, so that can change who's the stronger civ. In this situation, I think both civs are pretty strong regardless of skill. China probably has a little bit more of an advantage on the lower skill level when there's less micro, and if you just drag box, you probably have a better chance. I mean, the China smash is always good, but when you can't micro as well, it's even harder to escape. So we'll see how that goes in this game. China's got a TP at the start and going for a quick treasure, 50 XP. That'll help them get their first shipment. He's gathering for his village. He needs 180 wood for that, but regardless, he's going for T export. That's a solid card. You don't need population space for that, so that's why he's in no hurry, or at least less of a hurry, to get that village up. And then on the other side, we have Baron. Baron is a good friend of the channel. He's one of my members, one of my first members actually. Might be the very first. This guy is a great guy. He's always contributing in the Discord and sharing his thoughts. We talk about the game every once in a while in strategy, in terms of strategy, and yeah, he just seems like a really cool guy. I'm happy to be casting this game for him, see if I can give him some tips. Hopefully he pulls this one out. I don't know the result of this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses based on his desire to learn and get better. So excited to see how he does in this game. I've given him some tips, and I hope he can come through and make me proud. I won't be mad if he doesn't, though. It should be fun either way. Anyway, over here with China, we have the consulate getting the French allies tech or upgrade, whatever you want to call it. But that's a really interesting card because, well, I'm curious what he's going to go for, if he's going to send another card right here. But you can get the food crates in Age 1. I believe it's 400 food. It's actually ridiculous when the card that allows this, because you get 100 export with it and you get an export trickle. So this card, I mean, I've underrated it for so long. T export, there you go. You got 4 food crates. That's 400 food. There's a shipment that some civs even send it, like Japan send 300 food. This is 400 food plus a consulate that costs 200 wood plus 100 export. Well, I guess you use that for the crates, and then also an export trickle. I think it's worth it's basically worth 10 villagers of export. Like, look at this, 0.03 export per second. This gives you 0.35. So that's almost 12 villagers worth of export from T export. Like, when you think about it that way, it's ridiculous. I mean, obviously the villagers aren't, or the export's not coming in with other resources like a villager does when he's gathering. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of export. You don't usually have that much export coming in at any point in the game if you don't send that card. Anyway, let's focus over on Baron a little bit. He's got his TP going up in transition. I'm going to take a look at his... Okay, he does not have placer mines because his settler wagons are gathering exactly ×2 of a regular villager, which would be 0.6. If he had placer mines, which I think he's going to queue it right now, he'd have a little bit, he'd have 10% higher. So he'd have 1.4. Right? No, 1.3, I think. We'll see in just a little bit. Trying to do math is always a questionable decision when you're in the midst of casting something live. Alright, anyway. I like his approach so far. He's got the trade post. He looks like he's going to go for steel traps as well. Wow, that's a loud age up. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. He's already up at a pretty good time, too. And he's shipping 3 settler wagons. And steel traps is on the way, so 1.32. Oh, yeah, of course. See, that's why you don't do math live. I'm good at math too. Anyway, China player is going for the steps early. He's only got 1 village, so I guess he's not, because he didn't send the villager card in H1. He's not as close to being popped. I think even potentially. No, I think food are the only ones. You might be able to get wood in age 2. The crates are restricted to different ages, and I don't think he can even have the export to get that. So step riders are out. They're most likely going to go for the trade post. Some more treasure gathering from both players. Looks like Baron's just... Is he scouting along the middle, or is he just idle? He's going for a stable start. He went 3 settler wagons. They are trying to get on the mine. Oh, this guy, yep, going around, taking his time. This is a fine build order against China. I've got no problem with it. Especially in this situation, it should be good because Olin's obviously beat steps pretty hard. You just got to watch his builds. There you go. They do have a lot of siege though, so yeah, I would bring those back immediately. That's a good choice by him. I would try to hide only the village, the settlers, and not the settler wagons in the TC. Yeah, exactly. So he's doing exactly what it should be. Could have had a little bit better pop if you popped it on the right side of that stable, and then he would have Olin on both sides and have more of a chance at getting a good catch. But he might be able to get one regardless. He's splitting very well here. Now this next shipment is actually very crucial. He's doing a really good job. Oh, he cut that angle. He could have kept going, but it looks like he's gonna get at least 2, maybe. Okay, so he could have queued up another 2 vills, I think, before queuing the shipment. So that's gonna hurt. If I were him, I would buy for a house right now, which he just did, and he's gonna drop it with settler wagon, which is smart. But he could have queued a couple vills and not had idle TC time. Not the end of the day, but not the end of the world. But at the end of the day, a little slight mistake. Now our China player, he's going 700. He went steps, 700 coin, 9 pike. He's over gathering on gold coin quite a bit. He needs to redistribute some of his vills. He has some idols that he should fix. I don't mind this 9 pike shipment. It can actually do quite a bit. Can get that TP down, maybe a house or 2. So that's fine. Like usually you send 700 wood. But if he's got the pop space, he doesn't really need it. He can age up. He's looking like he's gonna age up right now, and then he could set a bunch of villagers to wood and gather for his buildings, which is something I do sometimes. So not the end of the day, not the end of the world. I can't get this saying straight, but he can make it work. He can make it work if he does the right thing. He should be aggressive though with his pike, but I guess in his mind he saw the stable start, and now he's just being cautious. Ooh, that's not a good catch. Not a good situation for Baron. Losing out on. He had to just not be paying attention because you don't want to take that fight. I think he's trying to micro once he saw that he couldn't get out of it, but yeah, you got to be careful. The Olin especially are extremely fragile. You got to be watching them the entire way. Looks like he's trying to age as well. The first mine is out. Just got to kind of prepare your vills a little bit better for that. Maybe move the stable over a little bit so there's more of a walkway to get through, but just some of the little things. All right. So the situation, this is a tin mine, very low coin. So this is an interesting map because there's I mean, this is the main attraction right here, the gold mines in the middle. That's what you want to be on for quite a while. You want to try to solidify that position, but these tin mines in base run out very quickly, as you can see. So it could be a good map for German because you can raid pretty well, but you also have to they use a lot of coins, so you got to be out on the map too. So tempo is a big thing on this map, which I like. I like aggressive maps. I think this is a good design. Looks like I haven't played this map too much, just a few times. It's usually pretty fun. There are a lot of fish on here and 4 whales, so that's not something to take lightly, to ignore. Interesting play by the Chinese player right now. Okay. Oh, he was saving up food for Beiyang army, which is Keshik and Steppe, and upgrades them. Very good card. Very good card. Excuse me. Especially against German. Wish you would queue some villagers a little bit more frequently, but that would definitely help. I think he has the time as well. Like he's not. I wonder if we can lock his. We probably don't have his fog of war. I don't know, or not his fog of war, but his view lock. Anyway, there he goes. He's queuing up some bills. You should put this on wood because you get significantly more value if you have that on wood compared to any other resource. Three food per second is like 3 villagers. If you put it on wood, it'll be is that Wait, did he make this? Oh, he made this in age 2. Okay. So, yeah, you would have 2.5 wood per second, which is 5 Vils worth. So, yeah. But here we go. Big fight. The big card comes in. Good positioning for China. And I think China's going to wreck this fight. There's some pikes still in there. Skirmishers are left defenseless. And Steppe are pretty good once they're upgraded. They do 18 times 2 against infantry. So that's an easy cleanup there. I think Baron, he had his Explorer here. He could have just, you know, scouted with him a little bit more. Just find out where the Chinese army is. So one of the things that you want to always do against China is know where their army is and not get caught out. Because they can always have meteor hammers. A lot of cavalry that can snare you, and then it's very difficult to get out of that situation if you don't want to be in it. Tough to escape. So Baron, what's his follow-up gonna be? He's making war wagons. I like that. There's not that many skirmishers, and he's got the Olin shipment coming in. I hope he has Vet Olin. That would be, this could be a huge pop. Like if he positions the war wagon to the back, the Olin could have been to the front. Oh man, it's kind of reversed. Like he had the Olin pop in the front, but it's still a good pop. He's still gonna potentially clean up. These are Vet Olin, so he should be able to, if he sends a few Olin forward, he can snare a little bit better, keep all the units trapped. That's a good drop off by the China player, just dropping 1 or 2 units. It's exactly what you want to do to escape. That's actually very good escape micro for the China player. Pretty impressed by that for the rating that we're at, seemingly. But yeah, I think Baron could have cleaned. He should have, honestly, cleaned that entire army. If you just send a couple Olin, or just send all of them forward, and don't attack until you're surrounding them a bit more. That snares all of them, gets a good full attack off with all your cavalry. Otherwise, they're bumping into each other, trying to get ahead, trying to chase. So I think he could have had a better fight there. Could have cleaned up entirely. A little bit popped. Needs another house. But he's back in a good position. He's actually ahead in score. He's got a shipment on the way. Tons of resources. He could, at some point, probably wants to drop a barracks, get 2 military production facilities going. Because he has the resources. Like, he definitely could be making more units. That's the thing with German, is like you sometimes don't make a second one because you're often popped with all the shipments. But he has the capability, if he just maybe buys a couple hundred wood, or... I mean, I am usually lazy and buy a couple hundred wood because it takes a while to chop for it. And I mean, just like look at the resources he has. He's queued up 4 Vils. He can be making another batch of cav right now. I mean, log flume, it's I don't like it at this time unless you expect the game to go much longer. Okay, let's see. He sees the Manchu, and he's gonna get a good beginning of this fight. This is a very good fight for Baron. Let's see what the China player, a little bit more micro, could pull back some of these war wagons. They don't do as well against Manchu in standing combat, especially with the melee armor. Manchu have melee armor as well, but you don't want to let Manchu stand and fight. But I think German's going to clean up here. Manchu are dying. They're killing a lot, though. Do reinforcement and skirmishers. But this is the interesting part where the 40% hand resist against Olin is going to really help. A nice batch of cav, and the Manchu, no, not the Manchu, the Keshik shipment. Wow, that's actually pretty wild that China was able to clean their 8 Keshiks. Not the highest resource value, but honestly, not a terrible shipment, especially against Germany. Like, help complement your army, not terrible at all. This guy really needs to keep his villager production going. Whoever you are, 26132 you gotta queue up more vills, buddy. I mean, let me tell you, you can gain tons of ELO just by doing that. Staying on top of your TC. That's why I've always, basically my whole gaming career, I've always had my town center, whatever game I'm playing, as control group 1, so that it's always something I quickly snap back to, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves to have any idle TC time. I can't even stay on this guy's point of view. It's gonna give me a stroke. Let's go back to Baron. So he's got full Olin right now. He's got, okay, there you go. He's got the barracks, and he's got a good batch of 10 skirm, 9 skirm, excuse me. Easily one shot of Keshik. See, at this point, when you see what your opponent's going for, basically a lot of Keshik and then filling in with melee cav, other random units that China gets, you don't need too many skirm. I would even potentially add some DOPS, because you have enough, and this is a lot in a lot of situations. This is what you're thinking. You need to think about how many skirmishers do I need to one-shot the unit I want to kill. So he can easily one-shot a Keshik. Meanwhile, we have a big fight. Very good positioning by a Baron. This guy's going way too hard in for the War Wagons, the China player. A good shot by the Flying Crow on the skirmishers and War Wagon. I don't know who's gonna. Okay, yeah, German's cleaning this fight. Whoa, there's some pike coming in. Yeah, this is a German clean for sure. Oh, a bunch of skirmishers left behind for the China player. They might not be able to escape. So this is another situation where Baron should grab these 4 Olin, send them all the way out here, maybe go around, get them in front, and then just get a good attack where you get 4 snares. 4 individual snares. This guy, again, with good drop back. Another drop back. That's like crazy impressive for what the other part of the gameplay I'm seeing from this guy. These drop backs are great. A huge batch of Cav from China is going to hold the Olin push, and looks like Baron's letting his units fight a little bit by themselves. Running out of gold, so maybe he's looking at his villagers right now, or should be. Another hotkey that I have on my mouse is the idle villager key. One of the things I hate more than anything is having idle villagers. And you know what? See, that's what it is. Not having the control group, not having a TC in a control group, and just having your waypoint set somewhere and not changing it because you don't go back there all that often. I've seen a lot of players, even like really good ones. Like Sampu was one that I've always remembered that would do that. He never used control group on his TC, and he would have like 3 or 4 vills standing where a hunt used to be, because he wouldn't change his waypoint sometimes, like frequently enough. Anyway, a lot of villagers on the far right side of the map, the east side of the map along the river. The Ulan are coming in. He's got a lot of growing mass at back skirmishers and War Wagons. Macro could use some fixing. He is on mine now, so he should be in a better position. A really good raid here. This village is close to getting up. He needs to slam that down. He's going to get it up, but he's going to lose so many villagers. Oh my god. That is what we used to call back in the day a cash money raid right there, boys. And more village. How many villagers is that? That's getting idle right now. Like 20? Maybe more than exactly 20. Exactly 20. We have coin crates coming in from the consulate. Very nice. This guy is actually on top of using his export. Impressed by that. His TC idle time, not so much. Ooh, that is brutal, losing these Ulan. That's why you know, sometimes it can pay off to raid China, but a lot of times it's hard to get away with these the extra range, melee range from the meteor hammers. It's the meteor hammers, right? They have the extra range, don't they? Right? Wait a minute. Oh no, it's the iron flails? No. It's both of them, isn't it? It doesn't show on here, but I could swear the meteor hammers have range on their melee attack. Anyway, another counter raid. Oh my god, so many villagers gonna die here. Villagers just dying everywhere for both these guys. Not enough war wagons at this point. And this is where it starts to get really scary against China, when they have a good mixed mass of cavalry and then some skirmishers to back it up. You have some Manchu, or Keshik, basically Manchu, mini Manchu, baby Manchu. And look at this front line of villagers. That's a lot of line of sight. You could spread that out. Like if he had this one earlier, he would have saw that raid. Put one here too. Spread out your villagers. They're very useful. You might lose them, but they're only 180 wood, and they give you tons of value for line of sight. Flying Crow is a little idle here. Trade post looks like it's probably going to go down. And Baron queuing up a bunch of villagers. He's got his gold coin crates coming in. I think he might go industrial. See, again, he's got so many resources. He could drop a 3rd military production facility. Hopefully he has not placer, amalgamation. No, he only has placer mines. A big fight, though. Here we go. Lots. Oh, the war wagons being a little bit mismicroed. Up front, the skirmishers getting their attacks off on them, but we're trading cav for cav right now. There's still a lot of meteor hammers here. How many? We have 4 war wagons. They're dropping pretty quickly, but I think there's just enough to hold this, and the skirmishers can take care of the rest. I think Baron's in a good position here. He's gonna hold this, yeah. Unless there's a big batch. Okay, both sides having cavalry reinforcements. It's gonna be a close one. But there are still, well, okay, those no more war wagons. So let's see. Does China have upgrades on these cav? He does have double face armor, so those guys are very strong right now. He's actually holding and oh, thought about pushing, but that is a lot of skirmisher for Baron, so he's gonna back up. And did he use this? Did this guy at whatever 1200 ELO that we're at, did he actually just use this? And like people like me and a lot of other higher ELO players forget about these things. That is, man, you know what? I give props. Like, I can't really talk. I can't say anything about his idle TC now because if he just used that during the fight, like, that's great. That's amazing. And he's going for a dock now. He has not scouted this hunt. That's brutal. That's why he's over here. Oh man, I feel for the guy. And he doesn't want to use the berries. He's not using the goat. You know, I can't talk, but he is getting grenadiers. He's getting the 4 young guard and a trade post. What fully resets market. Fort wagon. Age ups are cheaper. Ooh, interesting. Some interesting stuff for this native right here. House of Wetton. Shipping the infinite 8 Keshiks. This guy loves that card. I personally would probably go for the 5 meter hammers. But again, this guy, maybe he knows better than me. He's making some Trabants. Interesting composition. I don't know what those guys are. They're heavy infantry. Okay. That's good versus German, of course. All right, let's take a look at what Baron's up to. He doesn't have any units in production. Let me guess, that's a TC waypoint? Yeah, it is. See? Hey, however you guys want to do your control groups, but I'm not surprised when you don't have a TC in a control group that you have idols stacking up. Here we go. We got a huge fight. The Grenadiers getting some shots off on the war wagons, but 2 of them are already down. Trabants over here. They're getting a little bit out of position, and they're dropping very quickly. But that's a lot of cavalry. A lot of war wagon. Baron's got the right composition here. It's a tough thing right here to micro. Oh, and he has dops too. Very happy with that. He could have drag boxed a little bit better to get them at the front quicker. And he needs to have them attack. There we go. All right, now you got to pull your skirm back. Pull, not everybody, just a skirm. War wagons have melee armor. They can tank a little bit, but he's looking really good. Oh, the war wagons are in melee. They're charging forward. I like it. They're crushing. And I think that might be it. I think Baron has done it. Score difference is massive. We got Black Riders on the way. There's no way. There's no way the China player can hold on. And there we go. There's a GG. Well done, Baron. I'm proud of you, man. I'm impressed. Happy you can pull this one out. I wonder if you just wanted me to take a look at it. Even though you won, and try to give you some tips. And, you know, well, you did pretty good. There's not too many things to complain about. If I think of a few off the top of my head, just watching those idols, you might want to consider putting your town center in control group. Like I said, I always put it in control group 1. Or if you don't want to use it a control group, if you want to use that for military or something else, you can set it as like a hotkey like spacebar. That's mine as well, except when I'm observing that it switches players. Spacebar, you can put it like one of the mouse keys, but or use one of the mouse keys for idle villagers too. So that's one of the things that I think can, because then you just have more resources, right? When your villagers are gathering, you're gonna have more resources to spend on units. You're gonna just, you know, because of that, you'll get more units out. And just having units out, they kill stuff, right? Like they don't necessarily have to be micro to control the best or in the best position, but if you just have more units, sometimes that's all you need. So that would be probably the biggest thing I could give you some advice on here. And then a little bit, if you could try to micro your skirmishers, pull them back a little bit more. Give your units a little bit more room to move too, because when you have them all in the one drag box and you try to pull back the skirmishers, they might be bumping with the war wagons and take much longer to get through the army and out of the way. So if you can separate your units, maybe in control groups, or just, you know, have your skirmishers maybe sitting here, war wagons here, gives them more freedom to move back and forth without bumping. So, and bumping and positioning is huge in AOE3, so that can give you a lot of improvement off of some simple things like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this game. Like I said, not usually the ELO or rating that they're watching games at, but I think this is actually something that a lot of players can use and can get some tips out of and learn a little bit. You know, this guy, a lot of idle TC time, but he was in good positions at certain points in the game. Obviously, well, not even that far behind an eco, but you know, just got to make villagers. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the game. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.